Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Oriel Morrison-Higgins and I'm joined today by Sean Delaney, the Managing Director of Olympio Metals. Sean, welcome. It's great to have you with us today.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Oriel.
Now, you've completed your acquisition, Sean, of the two US projects in both Montana and Idaho. Can you give us a quick update on that?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, well, look, we announced the acquisition of the Raven project in Montana and Idaho back in February, and we raised some money back at that time. So that option had a due diligence period. So we just announced last week that we'd exercise that option. But yeah, when I went to visit that project, I sort of realized, I suppose, that when you go into a new area, you really need sort of a bit more meat on the bone in terms of just to operate in an area. So I got an introduction to a company called Scout Discoveries over there through a friend of mine, Shane Evans, and these Scout Discoveries are a real up and coming sort of company based in Coeur d'Alene in northern Idaho, run by Curtis Johnson, and they're the largest landholder in Idaho. They've got their own 5 drilling rigs, expanding that to 7 at the end of the year. They've got their own geologists, their own facility there in Coeur d'Alene, and they introduced me to this Jackknife Project, which is near the Silver Valley, famous Silver Valley in Idaho. And we've been working hard for the last 4 months to try and complete this acquisition of the Jackknife Project. So we're very happy to announce that today.
So tell us about this Jackknife project, because you talked a little bit about the location, which of course is extremely important. It's a known resource. The mine was developed back in the 60s. Tell us what your expectations are around Jackknife.
Yeah, look, it's the same geology as the Silver Valley, which is a famous silver producing area in northern Idaho. It's produced 1.2 billion ounces of silver over its history. So, but yeah, Jackknife was sort of one of the core. It's the project area has produced 3.2 million ounces of silver sort of over its history at sort of 12 ounces per ton, right? So it's a high grade. It's narrow vein high grade. So grade is king. Grade is back. So it's so yeah, we're the Conjecture Mine is sort of a key part of the Jackknife Project, and that's a mine that was developed by Federal Uranium. They put a 600-meter shaft down there in the 50s, and they drove along sort of various levels and sampled along all the levels, and they calculated a resource on that, which it's now a foreign estimate. It was pre-JORC and pre 43-101, but it's 8.2 million ounces at 12.7 ounces per ton. So it's not grams. This is ounces per ton. So it's so very high grade. So that just gives us great confidence that what you've got is, obviously, you've got mineralization on the surface, but we know it goes down to 600 meters, and that's just over 500 meters of strike at Conjecture. There's 7 kilometers of strike of this exposed vein. So yeah, look, we're very, very excited about the possibility.
So what happens from this point onwards, there, Sean? Because you were talking about Scout before, and you're partnering with them when it comes to this particular project.
Yeah, look, the other key sort of part about the project, which was really the attraction to us, I guess, is it's on a core of these patented mining claims. So patented mining claims were claims, that when the mining law was set up back in the 1800s in the US, federal land was basically transferred to the prospector, and it meant that you got the surface rights and you also got the mineral rights. So effectively, it became private property, which included the mineral rights. And these patented mining claims, there's been no patented mining claims stopped being granted in 1994. So they're very, very valuable. But it just means that you can get out there and you can get drilling with pretty much no approvals, and you can actually mine underground with very little approval. So the Jackknife Project is the core of the foreign estimate resource is on these patented claims. So yeah, basically our plan is to start drilling some holes there. We've got Scout. We've been working hard with them behind the scenes, and they've got a rig they're making available. So yeah, our plan is to get to work and put some holes in there pretty soon.
And the timing's great for you too, Sean, isn't it? I mean, with the silver price where it is, but not only that, the fact that silver is on the US critical minerals list too.
Yeah, true. Yeah, look, silver's come off a bit since its peak, I suppose, back in February. But we can't predict the silver price, but it's certainly the fundamentals are good. The demand is still there. But yeah, you're right. The U.S. government, I think, is very focused on supply of the critical minerals, which includes silver. There's probably some antimony in this in here as well. But yeah, there's a lot of money floating around the U.S. through the Department of War and various other departments to help critical minerals projects get underway. So yeah, look, that's certainly an avenue we'll be exploring. So lots of options.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a busy few months for you, Sean. We look forward to following on with your journey and chatting to you again very soon.
Thanks, Oriel. Super excited.